Yo, what's up, Muzon? What's up, Narc? How's it? How are you guys doing? Let's see. Let's get some music. Keep going with the Skyrim soundtrack. Mic check, mic check. All right. This is the week? Why is it the week? Oh, you mean like because we're Monday? You mean weekend's over, right? Yo, what's up, Ezreal? What's up, Kronk? All right. All right. Let's see. What can we use today? Um, I'd like to get some big damage. Let me see something real quick. Okay, so here's the deal. I want to have... Well, I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but let's try to find something that has a strong crouch attack. And then let's use both the two-handed tally and the crouch tally. And perhaps even, depending on what it is, maybe even the damage tally, perhaps. Or, not the damage tally, sorry, the Shrek Ash, maybe even. Let's see, what could we use? Like something that has a good crouch. What if we use Greatsword of Solitude, but we use mostly the crouch attack? What if we try that? Like, try to figure out a new way to use this, maybe. Let's give it a shot. Let's grab that. Something that has a good crouch. Definitely not great swords. We've played enough with Back and Blade. I guess power stance katanas, but I mean, this is pushing it a little bit on the string build. Maybe katanas, actually. Yeah, Great Cat. Great Cat could be interesting, I guess. What is the longest axe? Do you guys know what's the longest axe? Probably like Ripple or something. I almost want to try Warp Axe again, but with crouch attacks. I know Stone Club doesn't have too bad of a crouch attack either. We could try that. Or Morning Star even. We've already used hammers like quite a lot. Same with Colossals. I feel like we visited like pretty much everything. Like looking through all these weapons, like we visited pretty much every single one of them. Yeah, thanks for the Twitch Prime resub for 60 fucking months, man. Thank you so much. Like 60 months. Holy shit. 5 years? Bro, you're an OG now. Also, not really sure. One sec. Here, there you go. Scumbag Solaire, yo, how has it been, man? Thanks a lot for the Twitch Prime resub for 16, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, guys, okay. I think we're gonna start with that. We're gonna start with the Greatsword, maybe the Great Cat, but like, let's try to focus on Crouch. You're good. Hope I'm good too. Yeah, man. I'm doing well, honestly. Am I fat rolling? I'm still fat rolling. Gonna be that. Okay. We said crouch attacks. We're gonna be fat rolling if we do that. Fat rolling if we do that. If we do that. Still fat rolling. Okay. Not this. There you go. We're gonna see how much damage we do with crouch. Alright, here we go, guys. You haven't played Elden Ring in like 2 years? Well, what's funny is like nothing changed in 2 years. Thanks, man. I really appreciate the support, though. But yeah, soon, we should be getting Tarnished Edition. We don't know when. And then, you know, if you missed what happened during that time, Tarnished Edition basically introduces, like, 3 or 4 new weapons, 3 or 4 new armors, and then 2 new starting classes. But one of these starting class is basically optimal stat for every build. Like, basically, like, better than Vagabond. And so, we're gonna be remaking all our builds. When the Tarnished Edition drops. Insane first invasion. Bro, like, we couldn't do anything there. We just got one tap. We got blendered, or not blended, we got comboed from the one guy. And then we got one tap by the other. Why does that shit do so much damage? Well, it was raining, to be fair. Wasn't even charged yet, but it's raining. And also, you know, PvEer probably has his stats, like, completely out of whack. Like, the guy had no vigor. You say that PvP connection are better on PS5 than PC. Well, I've not played on PC, but I can tell you that just from watching it, it's pretty obvious that for the vanilla game, like, it's not even comparable. Like, PlayStation just has a different way of handling things. Like the thing with PC, from my understanding, is like vanilla PC has like data wrapped a certain way, and it needs to be like decrypted upon receiving the data, and it's like a measure for anti-cheat. That's not easy anti-cheat. That's like an extra measure by FromSoft, and that shit basically introduces a ton of latency and actual lag in the vanilla game. Like, people have gone around that with Seamless, because Seamless basically like turns that feature off, and so that's why a Seamless like seems to perform a lot better. But keep in mind, I've not played either, so... But that's my understanding. Are you planning on playing Seamless anytime? Not really. I'm not planning to. If the game, you know, like the thing with Seamless is like they basically play their own game over there. Like they have their own little subset of rules. That basically, like, you know, 50% of the game banned. And then it's always, you know, the same people playing each other. And then the invasion experience is far less organic than what you have like in the vanilla game, and between vanilla PC and vanilla PlayStation. I mean, I don't need to play it just to see what's going on. So no, I don't have any intentions on moving. You know, if I cared about this game more, you know, about the competitive side and everything, I'd probably make the switch at some point, but I don't really have any incentive. You know, there's a reason why, like, Steel, for instance, you know, he came from PC, and now, like, pretty much all his content, you know, he still goes back to PC here and there, but all his content is mostly PlayStation Invasion. Just because that's pretty much what the organic experience is. Yo, Scorch, thank you so much for the resub for 36 months. Holy shit, man. Thanks a lot, bro. Welcome back. What's my favorite setup? Honestly, I don't know. I play with like a different setup pretty much every stream. And, you know, back when the game was a little more new, I would have said that my favorite setup was Power Stance Great Spears. Now I don't know anymore, honestly. I'm not sure I would be able to tell you. I need to be extra careful here. You basically need to go through this guy and go toward the... Oh, never mind. I was about to say need to go toward the mage, but now there's 3 of them. Strategy changes a little bit. Give me those. Oh wow, only 1,000. Come on, game. Is he gonna jump off? Some things just don't change. Big head, but weak mind. He killed himself so he didn't get the kill, meaning he's the better player. You just understand them so well. I still have not really gotten the proper use for this Ash, really. Some people exaggerate so much losing in a video game. Yeah, man, I mean, we're numb to, like, we're numb to it at this point. Like, we see it so much that we don't even, like, really care that much about it. Or, I mean, that much. We really care at all, really, but it's definitely something that's strange, like, from an outer perspective. Trying to see here, like, boil. What about banish? Fuck. Like, I'm thinking, let's grab banish. You know, it's a little shorter. Maybe Iron Greatsword. Let's put a Nash on it that... Actually, what if I do that? What's the damage difference between this? Or the AR difference? 773 versus... It's not actually that big. I'd rather have a Nash at this point. It's like 796. That's not a big difference. Like, at this point, you're probably better off with a Nash that does something. Like, looking at all of this... Crackblade? Yeah, Crackblade would do a little more, but the Shrek is just... It's just easier to pull off, like, in an instant. Like, it's... Like, if you're in a 1v1, Crackblade is not really an option, unless your opponent, like, lets you buff before the fight. Whereas, Shrek is, like, no one can really stop you from doing it mid-fight. Like, with Crackblade, like, you're gonna be able to pull it off, but you're basically gonna trade getting punished for it. You like Great Katana, but you've been loving all the setups? Great Katana, I think, is fun, honestly. Like, what's fun about Great Katana is, like, you have a lot of options for, like, what you can do for viable moves. You know, like, not every setup has that luxury of being able to do, like, plenty of different attacks and have it, like, be viable in some way, shape, or form. Just like, for instance, you could be using, like, I think the one of the better example is, like some of these, like, more, like, straight setups, like, I don't really tend to carry bad weapons, but let's say this axe here, the Island Axe. It's a very, like, one-dimensional weapon. It really doesn't have a lot going for it. And even if Warped Axe, you know, is a lot better than that axe, it's really only because Warped Axe has a slightly faster backswing. So Warped Axe, like, has a little more options just because of that backswing, but that's about it. That's a perfect angle. Wow, he staggered me. That's weird. That was my R2. I got distracted by a ghost there, like I panic rolled some weird ghosting. I keep getting staggered by like everything. Like I need that Ash is definitely not good in this situation. Let's try this. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like both Ashes are just bad. That not only early hit, but yeah, the lat is pretty high. I don't know what went through this PvEer's brain, but it just started letting me hit this host. Yeah, it feels like this is very like underwhelming, and I don't have like any big option to like either roll catch or finish them off. I really don't like the Greatsword of Solitude, honestly. This Ash is not, it's not great. Like every time I've tried it in an invasion setting, I felt like I was putting myself at risk every time I used the Ash. And there's a reason why it's always Flame Strike, Storm Stunt. Go Flame Skewer, why not? Go Flame Skewer, and there should be a helmet that increases its damage. We can give it a shot. Okay, where is it? It's a night-looking one. Forgot. Should be this one, I think. Yeah, that's this one. Do we have enough poise? We don't. We don't have enough poise if we do that. And now that we changed the Ash, the poise is a little different, so... In the end, I don't think it's worth it, since we don't have the poise breakpoint that we need. Although, I say that. Could do that. Try that. Do you think about Noxhammer? You find the Ash really fun? Yeah, Noxhammer was like a big standout. When the game first came out, like, I had it as a quick swap even. Just because it had that Ice Armor and that reach, so it was like a perfect raiding tool. The only problem with that is the moment your opponent rolls it, they get a guaranteed, like, heavy punish. Like, you can get guaranteed backstab if someone rolls your Ash. So it's like the trade-off for something that's very reactable is too great. So basically every time your opponent rolls your attack, you can get guaranteed backstab. So as much as I really like the Ash, there's just too much of a punish for the recovery for it to be like worth it. Because every time you use it, you have to make a perfect prediction and like do a trade. And even if you do trade, it's not like you're gonna get like big damage out of it necessarily. Like it's decent damage, but it's not like massive damage. Like your opponent rolling it will do more damage on the backstab than you will do on a trade. Like the only like real reason to use Nox, the Nox Ash, is that you get some significant range out of it. So you can do that prediction like further out. But again, like you're still gonna get guaranteed roll punished. Even if they don't backstab you, they get a guaranteed rolling attack. So all in all, it's a fun weapon, but unfortunately it's too punishable. I feel like, you know, the crouching tally is just not the play here. Like, I wanted to maximize the crouch damage for Greatsword, but I'm going to use Flame Skewer. Like, I need to use Shard of Alexander, really. Because, like, what I'm noticing playing with pure Greatsword in an invasion setting is that I'm just lacking the type of damage I need to get that finisher. That was a cute rollout. It didn't do that much damage there either. Like we did not get 1,000 damage. And these guys were not particularly armored. So this is a little disappointing. Like at that point, I'd probably rather have like Piercing Fang maybe. Does the follow-up on Skewer combo? Yeah, like if you land this, it combos into this if you do it right away. So that's like the combo part. But even then, it's not that big damage-wise. Why'd you use the sword in the offhand? It's a long story, but I made plenty of vids about it. It's I think you need to be a little more experienced with the game to be able to leverage having your main weapon in the offhand. The reason, like, the short answer is for swaps, basically. For swapping. But it's a little more intricate than that. And the Skyrim track is just very, like, smoothing. The other answer I like to give is, for the same reason that gangsters hold their Glock sideways, I use my fantasy weapon in the offhand. That's also a good answer. Okay, I think we're gonna go from there. Oh, it just did not jump. Well, I jumped there, but nothing came out. I think the reason why it did not jump is I, like, dropped a little bit before, like, I fell off. Like, if you rewatch, you'd see, like, I basically, like, dropped a tiny bit. And every time you drop, and every time your character drop, it eats the input. So that's probably what happened. pretty cursed so far with this stream. Like, we had like 2 deaths where basically like just unfortunate. Like, we were not really in danger or anything both times. So far, it's probably one of the worst start in quite a while. Elden Ring fall damage? Yeah, also, it didn't look like we would die from that fall. It looked like one of these fall where you take, like, you know, 1/3 of your health damage-wise, but oh well. Doesn't matter. Yo, Odium, how you doing, man? You're killing my bugs. Double roll that, always. Yeah, it doesn't top, like... It doesn't do big damage. Could have died there already. Yeah, we need to get a kill now. There's a blue coming in. I feel like our health ball, or our health ball, our health bar is a little too small without both Favor and Amber Medallion. Like, you can feel the danger every time you take like one hit. Hey, actually, that was another attack. Careful to not run off somewhere that we can fall. Okay, we got a few bugs there. I think a felt like that was perfect. Yeah, this Greatsword experiment is just not great, guys. Like, I feel like I don't have the tools to finish people quickly. Okay. So unfortunate. Problem is they're also too pussy. Like, if you look at this guy, he's just running the moment. Like, not even alone with him, just having like slightly separated. Try to finish one. Oh, never mind. It's just one of those invasion where I mean to do that. Where, you know, pulling out the great bow, just like peppering them would be the play, but I want to try to win with this Greatsword. It's actually pretty even, like I did not even win that trade. And we only have one healing item. Well guys, not looking good. Not looking good, and we need to abort cover, and we need to start trying hard here. We're out of literally everything. We're out of everything, and these greatswords suck. Gonna need to regen a little bit before we can do much. They're also extremely thirsty, like, they've followed me through here like nothing. Great game, dude. So inconsistent. I can get a free hit on that Phantom, but that's not gonna lead me anywhere because I'm gonna be in range of the two others, like, right after. I was about to say I'm gonna do it as soon as I reach these guys, but he's just killing everything. For the joy of having, like, an overleveled Phantom, eh? We're doing damage to them, but they keep healing each other, like, right after. They're so thirsty. Probably should have go for the Phantom. I wasn't expecting to get a double hit. That kind of changes things. That's that max level eel right there. Gotta be careful, guys. You can't. I'm out of eel, like, just for anyone who joined in or anything. Like, I'm out of eel, so I can't, like, I basically can't get hit. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble. Now they're right next to each other. Like, there's just not much to be done there. That's what I was waiting for. Okay. Not get too greedy there. Not because one of them's dead that I can just attack two people at will. And try to resummon his friend, probably. The blue is very pussy, the host is very adventurous. Oh, they already got a blue. Like I didn't do anything. Because I'm still out of healing. Can definitely kill that blue, but he's very pussy. Like, he just runs away every time we're alone with him. Okay, that's an opportunity here. Running R2. Just trying to line him up so that he doesn't roll sideways. Very dangerous. Run at an angle that the ballista doesn't hit us straight. There you go. The baby jump. Okay, there you go. DC, there you go. Such a little scrub, dude. These guys are so ass. Dude just DC'd, man. What a great shit Redditor. Holy shit. Yeah, guys, the whole like Greatsword thing. I think that's it for today. Like already, like those great swords that we've been trying are just straight up trash, honestly. The only setup that I kind of like with Greatsword is Piercing Fang for invasions. Let's try that, actually. First of all, I want to see which one does more damage. This one or... Great Cat Seppuku is actually not a bad idea. That's an interesting one. Piercing Fang, where is it? Let's see. Okay, so this is a significant amount more damage for the iron one. Okay, let's try that out. I'm gonna try Iron Sword Piercing Fang. Like that. I feel though Great Cat Seppuku would probably be better on Arcane with the what's it called? With the Arcane Infusion, I forgot the name of it. You know, not the Bleed Infusion or the Heavy Infusion. It's technically like... Well, I guess Strength with Seppuku would probably be decent, right? How much bleed does Seppuku do compared to the bundle? But yeah, really, if you want to leverage Seppuku, you need to have, like, something that's uninfusable. Yeah, Occult, sorry, yeah. Yeah, like, I think you'd want Occult to leverage Seppuku for Great Cat, because it already has, like, bleed built into the weapon, so... Like, if you're on a strength build, might as well just use bleed bundles. I wonder where they are. We got a teammate. Seppuku Twin Blade, though, is just so strong. This Twin Blade, like, does so many hits. Like, it's a multi-hit machine. There we go. There's one there. There should be two of them, though. That one's the teammate. He's not going the right way, I think. Oh, no, he is. Never mind. I was about to say, I think these guys are up there, but they're not. Fighting, they're fighting their doom. Fighting Mr. Bear here. Like they're just gonna keep running. Combo. See, like, again, though, like, when we hit that seppuku on that Phantom, like, we had the highest, like, AR Greatsword. We had we had Lightning Bundle in water. We had Shard of Alexander. It was a counter hit, and it did not top 1,000 damage. A little underwhelming. It's like you compare that to like 2 hits with like Twin Blade with that bleed, and you do like, you know, like 1,200 damage. Well, we definitely will have given great swords like their fair share of tries, but really I think like Flame Strike is just so much better as an Ash for these sorts of weapons that lack like really good like options. And great swords, honestly, are underwhelming compared to some of these other great class. Like, for instance, it felt so much stronger to have have great hammers than like great hammers seem so much better than great sword in my experience. And same with curved greatsword. Like curved greatswords just have like way more use cases when you're invading. Like, Freya Flame Strike is, like, way better than any of the greatswords we've tried today, for instance. Like, Freya Flame Strike is, like, very reliable, like, much better damage, better arc for swings. Heavy Great Cat with Grease, it's 602 AR plus 93 buildup. Bleed Great Cat with Seppuku, whoop, shot jumped, is 513 AR, 131 buildup. Thing with Bleed is like, Bleed infusions, like you're wasting innate Bleed when you Bleed infuse a weapon that already has Bleed. That's why I think, like, Occult is a better use case for Seppuku. Because Occult is going to give you more damage than Bleed. And because the weapon already has innate buildup, you're going to be in a similar spot. You tried Madness Hand's L2? I've tried Madness Hand. The proc just happens too slowly. Like, Madness Hand is a weapon for overleveled. Like, if you have a bunch of stats, then it becomes like a serious weapon, but otherwise, buildup is slow and the damage is very poor if you're at meta. Nah, dude, planted... Like, for Mesmer is amazing. Like, actually, I think the last 2 times we used that weapon, we went deathless both streams. And we were mostly using it for the charge R2, like, with the Axe Talisman. It's just such a good weapon, but I think you want to use it, like, spec it for charge R2 damage. Not necessarily something else when you're invading. And then if you're 1v1ing someone, then obviously you focus on the crouch attacks, but for invasion, that charge R2 is the redeeming quality. Bro, these people are laggy. Oh my god. Well, at least we did 1,000 damage on them. What's funny is, like, I realized the lag was so high, or the latency, that I just straight up piercing Fang through his Black Flame Tornado because I knew we would just trade. Like, under normal circumstance, if the connection is perfect, your Piercing Fang doesn't make it through Black Flame Tornado. Like, it doesn't reach them. You're gonna get stunned before your Piercing Fang, like, enters the circle. But because the lat is so high, like, I'm gonna enter the circle, then I'm gonna take damage. That's basically what happened. Should speed up all the Greatsword R1. I think they should give, like, Greatsword crouch, more speed, like this right there. If this had more speed, then it would be a completely different ball game. Yeah, the crouch R1 is too reactable. Like, the speed is not horrible, like, it's decent, but it's not enough to be like a real threat. It would need to be a little bit faster. And I would not mind trading, like, less motion value for the, or I don't know what you call it, but like less damage on the crouch attack for a little faster crouch attack, you know, as a trade-off, so that the weapon doesn't just become like a crouching attack weapon, like Gug's, for instance. Like, you know, like Gug's weapon, there's not really a difference in like, actually you do more damage with the crouch attack than the standing R1, especially with the crouch talisman and everything. Technically, like, weapons that favor a fast crouch attack should do less damage on the crouch attack to incentivize the player to go for, like, the more damaging mix-up. Like, for instance, you make someone panic roll your crouch, and then you roll catch them with the R2, for instance, or the R1. Whereas right now, you have no incentive to really do that. You just do the crouch, and then your crouch attack basically does, like, more damage than your R1, and actually similar damage to the R2 for that matter. So it's like you're better off just mixing up crouch. It's more simple than trying to do crouch mix up into R2, because the damage difference is just not worth it. But like, if for instance your R2 did 3 times more damage than your crouch attack, then you'd be way more incentivized to use your crouch to set up an R2, right? Like, if your R2 did 3 times your crouch attack, like, you'd need to roll catch someone like 3 times to make up for that one, like, setup, so to speak. Then it starts to, like, that's the sort of balance FromSoft really never did. Like, the sort of balance where you give every weapon something that's viable, but you give, like, the viable, like, the attack that make the weapon viable, you don't make that weapon be one-dimensional because you nerf the damage of that attack. So the viable attack becomes the primer to mix up the other attacks and the other timings. That's, honestly, that's kind of like how you use Piercing Fang and on Greatsword. Like, it's just like to an extent where the whole setup is not that good, like the mix-up and everything, because your primer, so to speak, I call it a primer. The primer is the fast attack that make your opponent second-guess what you're doing, because they're gonna need to be in that twitch reaction mode sort of moment where it's like, all right, I'm ready to roll whatever you use. And even though this is reactable, it's just like fast enough to make it so that your opponent is gonna have to react like right away as soon as they see your attack, and you use that to mix up. So like, they see the movement, they roll right away, but oh, it's too late, you know, you were doing another attack. So you prime them with this, and then you do Piercing Fang. And I made a vid about that, like, almost at game launch with Claymore. Claymore basically worked like similarly, like at launch before all the Greatsword got buffed. Like, the way you used Claymore was basically, you know, you crouch and then you do the crouch attack, but you mix up the crouch into an R2, so you get the slightly delayed timing. And that's the same idea really for this and Piercing Fang. It's just the effectiveness of that strategy is really dependent on how reactable the primer is, like the attack that you're technically panic rolling. And so in our case, like, these Greatsword attacks are just not fast enough to be a real threat to make like someone good panic roll like the Piercing Fang. So like, usually, like, the way you make a good player panic roll the Piercing Fang is by what's it called? Conditioning. Like, you condition them that, like, let's say every time your opponent whiffs, Like, you go near them and you do, like, a crouch punish. But because the recovery in this game is so low, like, they get away every time, but you still do, like, crouch punish attempt every time they whiff. And so they get into this rhythm that, okay, after they whiff, they just roll right away and they're safe. And then at one point, instead of doing a crouch punish, you go next to them and you do Piercing Fang instead. And that's when you roll catch them. That's how good players get caught with these, like, easy to react attack. Because they got conditioned during the fight that every time you do X, you know, they need to roll at a certain timing. And so they adapt to that timing. And then you surprise them eventually with that mix-up. But it doesn't work, like, all the time. Like, if you want it to work multiple times, you really have to set it up. But, like, when it comes to, like, you know, invasions and invading, like, newer players, like, you pretty much can throw out any timing at them, and no matter what you throw, they're gonna panic roll it. That's usually how it works. Like, good players, you have to set up attacks, whereas invasions, you can just throw whatever. And then the people you're going to be fighting are going to be panic rolling even if you're not even attacking. You know, you can just be running at them and they'll just start panic rolling. I think that's also often a big reason why when a game like Elden Ring launches, you get a ton of, like, newer players that have a vastly different opinion, or let's say even a parallel reality, as to, like, which weapon is good for invasion, like, what is good in the game, because their experience is they're not very good at the game, and they see what is working for them in these, like, day-to-day invasions, and because the competition that they're facing is just very bad and always panic rolls everything, then their impression is whatever weapon is best at, like, not timing any attack and catching someone that keeps panic rolling, you know, is a good attack, basically. That's their perspective. But once you learn these games a little more, you know, you start to understand that all of these attacks are very easy to avoid if you just have a little bit of a, you know, if you're a little more reluctant to just panic roll everything you see. Like, if you have a little bit of restraint to your roll button, you can really start to, like, not panic roll pretty much every attack. And then you get to realize, like, what are the actual good attacks? I'll not gonna be my turn for a while. Oh yeah, let's use this right here. Bizarre. That's very unfortunate. We need to play around these because that's the only way we're gonna... They're putting a lot of pressure. This is going to be difficult. Okay, we get some help here. That's what I'm saying, that they panic roll everything. Wow, he would have run straight into it. And they're super aggressive, like no matter what I do, it's pretty tough to approach. Oh my god. I just fucking do it. There you go. Another give up? Dude! Okay. Dude, all these fucking scrubs, dude, that gank like crazy, they all give up. That's crazy. Like, all of them today have given up, like, after the hostess alone. Like, all of these guys are such pussies. It's insane. Crazy how, like, one PvE mod that, like, you know, instead of dying in 2 seconds, that dies in, like, maybe 20 seconds, just allows us to, like, be able to change the tide of the battle. Like, roll catches on the first guy? To be honest, it's really not. It's just that these guys panic roll everything. If this guy was not panic rolling like crazy, I wouldn't have time to kill him, like, before they kill the mob. It's the fact that they panic roll like crazy. I was surprised that the R1 caught that light roll. It's because he did not roll directly away from me. He was rolling, like, at an angle every time. That's why it caught him. If he was rolling, like in a straight line away, he would have been able to get away from it. That Iron Greatsword has decent damage on poison. Yeah, Iron Greatsword is one of those weapons on strength that has a good scaling with arcane. Like, you know, there's a few weapons that have good arcane scaling on strength. You know, Gugs is one of them. Warp Tanks is another one. The Beastman. Greatsword. Where is it? This one here. Beastman is another one that has really good scaling. Sword Lance. These weapons basically have, like, an extra notch of scaling that makes them do, like, very good damage, even if they're, like, bleed infused or poison infused or even cold infused. I think it's weapons that have S scaling. Is that it? S or... Is it S or A? It's A. Okay, never mind. It's weapons that have A scaling. Maybe. Is there a weapon that has S scaling? Oh, this one. Oh, this one has S. Am I the only one who thinks Raptor of the Mist is shit? Raptor of the Mist is a hard counter to certain things. Not all things, but like Raptors is very good, but it's very matchup dependent. Like Raptors is not like a general use good Ashe, unlike BHS that can be good like in pretty much any situation. Like Raptors is like a hard counter to certain things. Like for instance, if you're fighting Power Stance Great Spears, then Raptors is like super easy to avoid Vortex with. And also the fact that Power Stance Great Spears have like a hard time catching people in the air, like depending on what setup you're using with Raptors, you can be pretty threatening. Like for instance, Raptors of the Mist, Power Stance Spears. The jumping attack on Power Stance Spears is pretty strong, so you can give a lot of trouble to Power Stance Great Spear with that, for instance. I would have needed that. Blood Fiend arm would bleed though? Dude. When the DLC came out, Blood Fiend arm with the R2 one-shot was so much fun to use, dude. I'm so sad that they nerfed it. Like back when it was a one-shot, you know, like they basically, you know, if you had a weapon or an attack that had to be a one-shot, it had to be something like this, you know, like a very specific slow, easy to react attack where it requires like the whole build to be built around it. And they nerfed it so that it's like it's two-shot now. I'm sad because that one-shot was like so much fun and not OP either. It was just like a nice, fun option to use. I loved it. Now I'm a bit sad that it's not like the same as it was, because what happened with that is basically the like what used to be the case is like with the proper infusion, like the R2 instantly bled. You were doing like a shit ton of damage. And I think you needed to fully charge it too to one shot, if I'm remembering correctly. Like you needed the whole setup, you know, like you needed Shrek active, you needed fully charge it, but once you fully charge it, you were getting the bleed proc, you were getting like the big damage and everything, and that was it. That was a one-shot. It's still a one-shot on Fate builds, honestly. Yeah, I doubt that. I really doubt that. Because the reason why it was a one-shot is because the bleed proc, so like you're probably gonna get similar damage to like any other build that have like amazing fully charged R2s. It has the bug Smithsword scaling. Oh, I see. So it does well on Fate. That's why everyone keeps telling me to use it Fate. I see. But does that scaling bug also affect status? I wonder if it's now you're having me wonder if like if we fire infuse it on strength, like would it do like insane damage if we do that? Now you're you're having me wonder now. Let's take a look, guys. What if we use it fire on strength? Probably gonna have to use like some 16 arcane. Yeah. Trying to think here because I don't want to use this because this is gonna nerf our damage. Yeah, we're gonna use I think Stilovsky's head with the arcane tally maybe. Because I think we got an arcane tally. There you go. Okay, so there we go. We're at 12. We should reach 16. just actually I don't want to invade while I'm setting this up. Let's just cancel that real quick. Okay, Stilovsky's head. Honestly, I should keep Stilovsky's head instead of Silver Tier, because Silver Tier just nerfs the damage, so it's pointless to use. Okay. Okay, Stilovsky's head. Wait, don't tell me I don't have it. Oh, there we go. Okay, we should be at 16. There we are. 16. Okay, and what if we fire infuse that? Actually, let's get one heavy. Or not heavy. How much AR do we get? 790, which is not great. What about fire? Wait, we can't fire with Shrek, I guess. Okay, is there something that gives me like a fire infusion that I can buff with this? Like a self-buff fire infusion? There is not. That's sad. Okay, well, what about this? Can I have fire infusion and like... I don't want Warcry though. Fuck, what about... I can't put Cragblade on this, can I? Yeah, I can. Okay, there you go. Cragblade. I'm gonna Cragblade fire it. Let's see. It's not good scaling, actually. It's pretty bad. Yeah. What if we do that? Yeah, 894, like, if you compare that to Crusher, like, Crusher would just shit on this damage. Guys, does this have any bleed buildup? If you don't have a bleed infusion? The splash does? Okay. Is that the... Ooh, it's 500? Really? Ew, 540, that's garbage. What the fuck? Ew. Yeah, I mean... No, that's not gonna cut it. Yeah, this is not gonna work on strength, guys. This is bad damage. Like, 540 is atrocious. Like, guys, just compare, like, that 540 to... Like... You know, compare that to, like, this here. This one is 618. The warp tax does, like, way more damage than the big weapon. That's how crazy the damage difference is. Yeah, strength build is just not the build for this, guys. Like, no matter how I slice it, it's just... What about Storm Stomp? Does this combo into Storm Stomp? Maybe they could give it, like, a different use case. That seems too slow, guys. Right? What do you guys think? That seems too slow. Okay, we're gonna try something anyway, but no promise. Storm Stomp combos? No, it probably doesn't. It probably does it, but I'm thinking, what if I Storm Stomp into, like, Panic Roll fully charged, maybe? That's what I'm gonna be trying, like, Storm Stomp into fully charged, maybe catching a Panic Roll. Like, yeah, like a Pseudo, maybe. Also, We have another problem. Oh no, we can. Never mind. There you go. Because we want to leverage the, you know, the full charge here. Though I'd be surprised because they probably get far enough away with the panic roll. Yeah, Clavy, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, I'm thinking that's probably what's gonna happen. Because right now, the way it looks with this setup, this seems like worse in every way than the Great Club, which has more damage, you know, more damage and then also more range. Would Bragger not work? No, because you want to keep that R2. See, the thing with this is, like, Bleed Infused Crusher is just better than this on strength. Like, Bleed Infused Crusher is, like, better in every way than this. Like, the only way this could be good is if that attack is like a one-shot bleed, but I know for a fact that it's not the case, especially not on Arcane. Or especially if you're not on Arcane. You most definitely need... Like, the reason why we wanted to try it in the first place is I wanted to see if the scaling was good with Fire Infusion, but I think you really need a Fate build, like, to utilize this. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be it, guys. Like, Crusher is just better than this. At least you can see using this weapon. Well, I mean, if that's your criteria, then Golem Owlbird's also better than this. Okay, which Ash did I put Storm Stun? Okay, let's try it. Oh, not even. Okay. He started running! He just started running after that. Insane, bro. Fucking insane. I was not expecting this either. Oh, man. Should bleed there? No, not even. The comedic timing was too good for it to not to happen. Yeah, like, I was not expecting this, dude. The guy just got crushed. Completely crushed. Now I'm curious, like, now I want... now I want to see if it was just because this guy was on Source Seal or what. Man. That was pretty funny. Wonder how much the Axe Talisman had something to do with that. Oh, that was pretty funny indeed. Also, I'm not sure. Like, I felt like he got bleed proc, but it could be like just me mistaking the... Like, it's probably me mistaking the splash effect, you know, in the moment and everything. Looks like he took half his health twice. Yeah, I'm curious. That's why I'm... Now, like, I want to keep going because it got my attention now. What's crazy is I probably would have dropped the weapon after this invasion if that didn't happen. It's pretty crazy. Come on. Risky. And this stupid spell is draining me like crazy. Careful here. Try to kill the horse here. Like, see, this guy did not get killed, like, at all. We had the full charge. It was a fluke the first time, like... but still pretty funny. Dude, we almost lost that, like... because the host was so bad, but it doesn't matter. Like, they can two-shot you, like, from any range. Pretty insane. I think that other guy just had poor robustness. The Comet is just broken. Yeah, it's the fact that Comet is so spammable too. Like, they can like sequence them like right away. I mean, we still got a kill with DR2 though, but I just don't think that it's I don't think it's supposed to one-shot with that sort of build. I think if you wanted to one-shot like that, like you said, a proper Fate build, maybe Arcane with like all the proper buffs and setup. Okay, fully charge on out of spawn. I feel like it only works if they have no armor. It's still funny though. I wonder if it would be better to just Crackblade it, but so far I have not even tried Storm Stomp. Oh, guys. Guys. Let's do that instead, right? What do you think? You know, the classic. I feel like that would be fitting. RKR on this. Oh, he made in here. Saw it. Problem is, can we reach him? That's a dead end. Yeah, I think you're right, Plant. Yeah, I think people will run away from the RKR, like it's pretty obviously dangerous. It's like a big, like, red symbol, like, careful, don't get close to this. This is dangerous. That type of deal. But you never know, like, one smart way I could be using that is, like, around the corner, I could do it, maybe. Like, away from their sight. Don't die. God damn it. By the time I made it, he's already dead. And that's not even the Phantom, I think. Yeah, he just died to PvE. Like, I was thinking, like, maybe you, like, go around the corner, RKR, fully charge, and then GG. We're gonna try it. Like, you know, like, have RKR, never use it until the right moment. Yeah, you're probably right, Daylight, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna have it, not use it until we're, like, you know, let's say we're getting chased down. Like, we're getting chased down and everything. And then you do that, like, something like that. I mean, it's a very specific, like, very narrow use case, if I'm being honest, but I think at this point I'm probably better off just, you know, using, like, Crackblade at this point. I think Crackblade is probably a better idea there. Ideally, though, I'd like to use, like, an Ash that does something to help the weapon. Like, you know, a move. I just don't know what. You know, like, something that leverages, like, the weapon. I mean, Wave of Darkness, you can't really ever go wrong with that, but the thing with Wave of Darkness, you'd probably use Wave of Darkness instead of the fully charged R2, so defeats the purpose there. Like, I feel like Storm Stomp was a good fit because maybe you could pseudo with Storm Stomp, but... Okay, let's try to at least see if Storm Stomp pseudos or not. But like Cleve said earlier, like, what I'm thinking is, even if it does pseudo, there's a very good chance that they might just be able to roll out far enough so that the fully charged still does not catch them. But yeah, I stand by it. I think I think if you're gonna use something like this on strength, you're better off with Crusher. Like Bleed Crusher will be better than this. You're gonna be doing like same damage, just way more build-up. Like actually, like let's compare it real quick, just for the sake of it. Like, you know, just to show it. Where's Crusher at? Let's say on top of that, with Crusher, you can use Bragger because you don't need the R2. That's not what I wanted. No. There. Okay, so let's look at our damage here. Our AR is 790. And then Bleed Crusher is actually higher damage. And with Bleed buildup. Look at that. Whoops. Bleed Crusher out damages like heavy infused Blood Fiend arm. That's just how useless that weapon is on strength. Like Crusher is just way better. Look at that. It's not even close. Isn't Crusher damage only one-handed? No. If the damage that's shown on the stat screen is either one-handed or two-handed, depending on what you're how you're currently holding your weapon. If I do that, then you're gonna see the little X, you know, because I don't have the stats to wield it. If I do that, you're gonna see two-handed weapon damage. But yeah, just goes to show though. So in the end, Crusher is just better in every way than this, honestly. On strength, at least. Maybe you can try fully charge R2 with Great Club to see if it's good. I'm thinking Great Club probably does more damage, because Great Club has really high AR. And the damage is actually close to Crusher. Crusher R2, though, pretty much unusable, so... We need to back off and heal. No BS there. Also, like, with the Great Club, like, you don't need to use this, and you don't need to use this, so technically, your setup is also better overall, because you free up a talisman slot. And also, I think it's even lighter, is it? Yeah, it's a lot lighter. 3 units lighter. Okay, so from here... Actually, can we sacrifice this? Not quite. I'm gonna sacrifice this. Okay, so we're gonna try the same thing, but with this, with the, you know, the holy bundles. Also, like, this just, you know, better weapon for crouch attacks too than the last one than the chicken wing. To be honest, there's really no reason to use chicken wing on string build, if I'm being honest. Like, this is just better. And Crusher is also better. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know where they are. Let's just respawn. What a great spawn, dude. Completely useless. Like, there's actually no logic to the spawn in this game. Like, seriously, there's no spawn that makes sense. Like, completely random. Oh, I forgot that we're not invincible when we spawn. Great. Well, I almost jumped off. That's just not what I wanted. Yes, but whatever. Come on. Careful about this other guy. We need to panic roll that, otherwise we're gonna get backstabbed. Oh. Alright, let's just kill him. Lucky there. Big duels, guys. Alright, let's just kill him. We did not need help for this, honestly. Like, pretty much over right now. Like, these guys are not good enough for help to be needed. Pretty much over. It's cheeky, cheeky scrubbish. Great fucking game, dude. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Like, we didn't need help for this. Also, these guys were just slightly too experienced to land. Like, I tried to land the fully charged, but my odds of winning were just straight up, like, you know, just do crouch attacks and then get on with it. Oh my god, so close. Oh, that's... I'm down. Shit! uh... There's the whole squad. Oh wow, that was a bad troll. We're gonna get fog walled. Also being out of yep. Knew it. Fog wall. Just like drunk predicted. Sacred Blood Fiend plus RKR Hammer, two-handed tally for each other, two one-shot players with 1,900 and veteran. Super gimmicky, gonna hop off now. Thanks for testing it for us. Yeah, it definitely does sound pretty gimmicky, for sure. I wonder if this could be interesting. Just having that handy tech available. Like, you know, if I land a crouch attack and the guy is one shot, you know, doing that definitely makes sense. Although, to be completely honest, I can just dagger swap instead. Although, that's not true because the handy tech will cancel some of the recovery, so even the dagger swap wouldn't come out nearly as fast. I don't think we can get up there without ladder, right? I'm thinking at this point, probably better to go up from here. We're not going to be able to reach them, but I think they're going to have to come to us. Guys. One sec, like, give me 1 sec. Bro, this is devious. Oh, come on, give us something better than that. Bro, he sees us. Bro, it's never gonna work. And it it disappeared, bro. Like, it didn't even last fucking 30 seconds. I'm so sad. Oh, so close. Well, there's 3 of them, though. No, I wanted the other guy. God damn it. That would have been a kill. Try to knock one off. That's smart. Oh, so close. This guy is throwing his spots in a smart way. Oh my god, bro. So close. don't have a choice. Try to hurry up and go down here before it's too late. Don't really have a choice, honestly. Okay, let's just... That was close. Honestly, guys, I know it's boring, but that's just the play. It's what's available, you know? Like, I almost have to nerf myself sometimes to make for some interesting kills because the play is obviously gravity there. I mean, the play is obviously great bow, like, once again. But, you know, I tried to land that R2, guys. I tried to land it fully charged, like, multiple times. One of the Phantom was a little latent, too, so... it was difficult to land it on him. You consider gravity kills to be fun? I mean, they are, but... it's just that I don't know, I feel like I've gotten, like, so many kills that way, just, you know, you get them to a ledge... swap the great bow, just wait for them to roll, time the great bow shot, and that's it. Like, it on my end, it's not a lot of effort. It's not. And also, like Plant said, the play is like, the thing is, the play is always the great bow. Like, even if I kill for the shot there, like, even before that, the play is actually to never engage with them and always pepper them with the great bow from a distance. That's actually always the optimal play. That's the thing. And when they get close, you just start running, and then you start peppering them from a distance, and over and over and over. That's basically how you should be playing. And if you're not using a strength build, sometimes it's still the play, even if you don't have optimal great bow damage. But if you're like on a Fate build, then the play is the same idea, but instead of using the great bow, then you're throwing fireballs. You know, big AoE fireballs that two-shot. And you just do that from a distance over and over. This PvE mob is... oh my god, bro. He's gonna ravioli me. Bernard is still undefeated to this day, man. Stronger than any fucking real players that they could get. Artificially, though. To be fair, it's just because the dude reads inputs and is stupidly tanky. The big fireball does some insane damage if you use hefty oil pot first. Ooh, I never tried that. But yeah, when Tarnished Edition drops, man, wait for that Fate build. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that, I think. Crazy to you how tough NPCs are. They should have a damage modifier that makes them, like, not have that ridiculous of a defense against invaders, because that just makes it like... it makes it like obnoxious to the point where it feels completely out of place. Like, it feels completely out of place because no other enemy in the game is like that. I was expecting something else. That's gonna be exciting, yeah, man. Tarnished Edition, unironically, is gonna breathe so much life into the game. With basically, like, almost no content. Gonna be crazy. Just use oil physic and oil yourself up. I'm always, like, very reluctant to sacrifice damage reduction and heal near death in my physic because there's so many people that snipe me for 1v1 that the moment I use oil, like, I'm gonna basically, like, waste a physic slot on something that would help me win the fight in duels. You know what I mean? And I hate losing a duel way more than I hate losing an invasion, because in an invasion, usually if you lose, can't really do much about it, but in a duel, and I know this game has a lot of RNG in it, but usually you can do something about it. Okay, we scouted our enemies. Let's get to work. Oh, come on. I feel like I timed that properly. Keep her health high. Felt like I strafed that, but... Oh, come on, that's a backstab in like every Souls game but this one. I feel like I'm getting robbed of... Like, I'm making good plays and then the game just doesn't give a shit. I can't put enough pressure to kill one from start to finish because they're too close to each other. Need to get one of these here. Ooh, we got tired. Auto out. Wow. Such a scrub, dude. Alright, I'll show you. I'll show you fun. Show you what fun looks like. Oh shit, net. Hate my input there. I feel like that's another one where we didn't need help. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, you're gonna get... Oh my god. Like, I don't really understand. Like, I was a little annoyed there because, you know, over here, like, you know, playing with Great Club and I'm playing them 2v1, and then and the guy's using Gugs, which, to be honest, Gugs against the Great Club is a pretty fair matchup either way. Like, one way or the other, it's a, you know, it's not a one-way ticket either way. Like, it's a pretty evenly matched matchup. Like, the better player will win on either side. I prefer the club over Gugs, but still, like, no reason to swap. And also, you know, you have a teammate that just spamming, like, running attacks constantly, which makes it impossible for me to, like, attack back more than once. And they are basically winning the fight because 2v1 is 2v1. But he still feels the need to swap to, like, Pada, which is unfortunate because that forces me to swap out because I'm already under so much pressure. I can't just have someone with a great katana and Pada, like, running at me. I'm just gonna die right away. And to their credit, they had the Tong on, but this whole sequence happened before we had any teammate, really. Yeah, I wasn't dying fast enough, basically. I'm noticing more and more that the go-to play if I want to win an invasion is Sword Lance. It's not TS, like, it's really Sword Lance. And I mean, that makes sense, really. Like, Sword Lance just has the easiest big damage that's available. Maybe you can do that. I thought he would panic roll that, he didn't. Hey, mine put that first. Yeah, Great Club is better than Gugs, but in a Great Club versus Gugs matchup, like, the difference is not, like, large enough for it to be like, oh yeah, like, this one is, like, way better than the other one. Like, I prefer Great Club over Gugs, like, overall, but you have to keep in mind, with Gugs, like, you have Storm Stomp. With Great Club, you don't. Like, in the best case scenario, like, that Storm Stomp makes it so that you have more roll catch than with Great Club. It's just that in a mirror match, like, it's going to be risky to use that Storm Stomp. So, like, either way, like, Gugs versus Great Club is not, like, a matchup that's worth switching to something else to win, basically. It's fairly even, all things considered. Granted that with the Great Club, like, it's a little better crouch attack. You know, I don't even want to say a little more damage, because, like, Frost Gugs, probably similar damage, really. Maybe a little more on Great Club, but pretty similar. But with Gugs, you have the Ash. You know, you have Storm Stomp, or you know, if you want to hard counter the Gugs, you have Quick Step. Oh my god, if the lag wasn't so high, guys. Oh, come on. Oh my god, bro. I mean, that's just latency there, guys. Unlike like Gugs, like this curve Greatsword versus Great Club, like this is a one-sided matchup for Great Club, that's for sure. Because the timing for both is fairly similar in the grand scheme of things, and I have high armor priority, so it's a very advantageous matchup for me. Giant Crusher then? Yeah, but that wasn't... Like, you have to... Like, you can't just play, like, Devil's Advocate when the argument doesn't make sense anymore. Like, we're not talking about Colossals versus Colossal Swords, dude. Like, the argument was the guy swapped the Pada when he had Gugs. And there was no need to. I wasn't using Crusher. So you can't just magically, like, pull out a weapon that I wasn't using. And we don't know which Ash he had, so it's fair to assume that he had the best Ash possible. Like, my argument is, like, swap, like, you're 2v1ing someone, and you don't have matchup disadvantage. Like, there's nothing that should force you to swap the Pada other than, like, I'm not dying fast enough, like, Keminator, I think, said earlier, which is basically what happened. Like, I wasn't dying fast enough for him, even though, like, I was basically under pressure, and they were already doing pretty well. But I wasn't dying fast enough, so he just swapped the Pada. It's just, you know, they can do whatever they want, but that's why I swap after that to the Sword Lance. Because I feel like with Sword Lance I can kill one of them on a dime, really. Laws of Night is a good Gugs counter. There's plenty of Gugs counter. Like, Colossals, you know, they're weak to, like, daggers. Like, Colossal Swords get countered by shields, too. Colossal Hammers don't, because they do enough stam damage to break guards, but... Okay, let's go down from the stairs. But Colossal Swords get shitted on by shields and daggers and thrusting swords and Shamshir. Like, there's so many, like, pretty much every fast weapon, like, destroy Colossal Swords in a 1v1. If you're invading and you're fighting a Colossal Sword, the fact that you have to worry about multiple people, you have to be patient against the Ice Armor, it becomes a lot more difficult, a lot more tricky to kill a Gugs quickly in an invasion setting than it is in a duel setting. What's that guy at? Oh my god, this lat is, like, unplayable. Let's just kill this guy. Yeah. Block that guy. That's unplayable, net. What doesn't get shit on by TS? Well, there's actually plenty of weapons that don't get shit on by TS. Other broken weapons. Fucking back and blade, shamshear. Even fucking I mean PSSS, like anything that has sword dance, a fast weapon with sword dance doesn't get shit on by TS. You know, Albert Endax with Flame Strike. Without Flame Strike, little in favor of the TS, but with Flame Strike, like the Albert Endax have a pretty good matchup actually. For the simple fact that TS loses priority and gets put in a mix-up every time they get the hit. Like they get put into Flame Strike mix-up every time they win neutral, so it's a weird like lopsided dynamic. It has good matchup into Shamshir. No, like you're speaking as like some of those brain dead ladder rules that nerf half the shit. Let me tell you that Shamshir's sword dance is extremely difficult to play against as a TS, and you're gonna feel like the matchup is in favor of the Shamshir with sword dance. Without sword dance, then yes, TS is gonna be better, but sword dance is just same thing with PSSS. Sword dance makes it so that it feels like a lot more difficult to approach, especially since both Shamshir and Power Stance straight swords have good jumping attacks, which Trusting Sword hates because it doesn't stun jump unless you do the running R2. Okay, since he's not there, perfect situation. There you go. Oh fuck, I forgot the axe tally. Problem with these ladder rules is like people like you come in there, they think they know matchup, but actually they've only played like these rules that don't even represent the game, and that skews their perspective of what is really happening within the game. Like people that only play these ladder rules, like they're basically not playing the same game for the most part. It's like, for instance, if you think like Shield Dagger loses to X and Y setup, that's not actually true if you unban parries, because like Shield Daggers versus TS without parry, actually in favor of the TS. With parries, eh boy, very tricky to approach that. I mean, PSSS Sword Dance was fucking banned a long time ago, dude. Like, from what I remember, like, I have not seen it anywhere in, like, probably a year. And also, you might not want to hear this, but on PSN Ladder, bro, PSN Ladder has like 2 good players, dude. Like this is not like an indicative of anything. Like I say 2 good players, like I don't even know who plays it. Which weapon is the best against your weapon? With this, I think BHSTS would be very difficult to play against with, if I'm using Great Club like that, no Ash, BHSTS is going to be difficult. Another one that's very difficult would be BHB, but at least with BHB, you can somewhat try to time a trade. Red Bear Claw. I don't know if Red Bear Claw is that bad of a matchup, for the simple fact that even though you might lose the trade a little bit, you really don't lose by that much. And if you do an R2, I think the trade might even be in favor of I I think it might be in favor of the Great Club, especially since there's a good chance you might tank the claw hit and then roll out. Like I tried that matchup like a little while ago, and it was a lot of instance where you just tank the ash from the claw and then just roll out afterward unscathed, and it kind of skewed the matchup a little bit. Guys, I think I fucked up this invasion. Wasn't paying attention. I thought they were down there, but I don't think they are. At the start. But we lost our physic. Let's get away from here. Fast sword dance on pretty much all the good weapons, and when I say good weapons, I mean like, you know, CS, light greatsword, power stance straight sword. You have the matchup advantage against TS purely because of the sword dance is just such a good attack. It's very safe, and then you can attack afterward, and you just always have priority. Where are they, dude? Of course, though, like, you know, matchup advantage doesn't mean that, you know, if your opponent, like, if the fight is not even skill-wise, like, that's gonna play a major role in that. Like, you know, a matchup advantage, you can overcome that if you're better than your opponent, for instance. Okay, I see. Like, you can absolutely overcome like a terrible matchup advantage if you play like perfectly and you're better than your opposition, you're patient. Holy shit, these guys are taking so much damage. Wait, where did they go? Wow, that's a hidden pathway there. Didn't know this existed. Where are they? I think that's pretty suicidal if I go there. Okay, they're already gone. Save jump? No, that's not the question. It's like, I'm gonna get 2v1 in a tiny spot there. Like, you don't want to go there. That's a terrible play, dude. If you do that, you're basically, like, YOLOing or giving up. What is the spot that they come back to, though? Like, once they get back here, where do they end up? Is that a dead end? I forgot where this leads. Okay, well, the Phantom died, so let's respawn. Think you have to go there? Okay, yeah. Well, now it's not a 2v1 anymore, so... Pretty cool spot. I would try to attack there. He gave up, dude. Crazy. He gave up right away. Sorry, was going to double back the elevator. Amish, that's because you've seen like so much Dark Souls 3 stuff that like you've already seen all these scenarios. Like these people are not creative enough. They don't have like that sort of experience, but you're right. That's definitely like what some of the scrubs would have done. We go back a few years ago. Did you beat Fallout 4? Yo, baby turtle, I'm glad you asked. I just fucking beat Fallout 4. Survival mode, permadeath, no VATS. I just beat the Institute, so that's basically, you know, like beating the game, because you could technically like do infinite questing and whatever, but yes. I just actually beat it. I was actually so happy, but it felt empty too, like, because I was having so much fun. And now, like, I don't want to touch that character anymore because, you know, it's so dangerous out there and you can die, like, so easily that I want to keep it that way, you know, that run to be, like, the main character's run, basically. You can now go help those settlement. Yeah. Dude, like, close to the end, I had a, one of the mission is basically the first time you have to kill a courser. And you basically are going through an area that's swarming with gunners. And I swear, like, I was actually, like, playing pretty well, you know, like, you know, I'm actually, like, I have some tactical shooter background, so my positioning is very good when I play these games, even if they're PvE games. So I'm, like, waiting for that gunner that's, like, on a platform, like, oh shit, what the fuck? Well, Nightreign moment. Alright, guys. Oh, come on. There you go. Bro, that was so random. That would happen while I'm fucking all into it explaining my fucking Fallout run, dude. What the hell? That's so funny. That was actually so weird. Okay, I forgot what... Oh, yeah, so... Yeah, I was basically in this gun... Like, this place that was swarming with gunners, and... There was, like, a doorway on a platform a little higher up. Like, let's just pretend that there's a door here. And then... like, gunners are coming out from this door. And I'm, like, basically, like, right there, like... on the perfect, like, very tiny angle to, like, basically shoot them as they come out. and they can't like get to me, flank me. Like the only way they can get to me is by going all the way around to basically get to me. So I'm like destroying them, and they come from there. And then this one gunner with the fucking, you know, AI that's crazy sometimes. He comes up running and just shoots a missile, like Gunner comes out with a missile launcher, and as soon as he gets like a tiny angle, he shoots a missile like directly at me, and he dies. Like, we basically trade blows. Like, he dies because I'm waiting for them to come out from there, so I'm shooting them instantly, and then I just eat a fucking missile launcher, like right point blank in the face, straight shot. And I survive it because it's much later game and I have like 10 endurance, which in Fallout 4 it basically gives you like very high HP. And I was in power armor, and also my power armor had some explosive resistance. And yeah, overall, my defense and all the stats accumulated up to that point made me resist that point-blank missile shot that would have ruined the run too. That was pretty crazy. That was one of these moments where I like, ugh! Another one of these moments, you know, in survival mode, your way of traveling, or fast traveling, is disabled. So your best way of traveling is, you know, if you get to there, it would be like the Institute, I think, can still teleport you, but I didn't go with that. The other good way of traveling is by Vertibird. If you're with the Brotherhood of Steel, you get the Vertibird very early. And so that's basically your go-to way of going around the Commonwealth. But if you know, your Vertibird can absolutely get destroyed. So you have to be careful. There are certain spots on the map that I avoid. And what's cool about the Vertibird is you can have it go a certain direction, and then during the flight, you change your destination to somewhere else. And that way you can avoid and go around certain, like, dangerous area. Like, for instance, there's a raider with a mini nuke in Lexington. And that raider, in the past, like years ago when I first played Fallout, that particular raider did one-shot the Vertibird at some point. So, because of that experience, I know that you need to avoid certain spots. But sometimes, you know, I've had like a super mutant that's like near like the bridge and the water, that's with a rocket launcher, and I know it's there. I always do like a certain route to avoid it, where like you send the Vertibird like toward the building, and the Vertibird will take altitude to avoid the building. And so like I was basically like always doing that. So you're like too up in the air to aggro like pretty much any enemy. And that's like the safe way of going around the map. So that's basically the proper way to use the Vertibird. But at one point, it just did not get altitude with the building. So I'm right there with the Vertibird, right next to that fucking super mutant with the missile launcher. We aggro him. And then I see the mutant firing the missiles like at the Vertibird. And the Vertibird basically like barely like outspeeds the trajectory of the missiles, and the missiles like fly like right under me, and it like barely misses. And because I'm in a Vertibird, the Vertibird's gonna get one shot if the missile hit it. And so like this is extremely dangerous. Oh man, this guy is gonna die instantly. The only thing I can do is like stick to him as much as possible. Like try to keep him alive. The fact that they still have not killed him is surprising. Like, this poor guy has no HP, clearly doesn't know what he's doing. I'm basically banging on the fact that he can put some... Didn't mean to do that. That he can put some range pressure. Fortunately, yeah. Thank you, teammate. I actually like this guy. I definitely need to play around him, though. He's one shot. I think that's it. I can't save him there. Okay, at least we have some PvE here. Drank a blue at 1 HP. Hey man, I tried to keep him alive. I did everything I could, but at some point, like, you know, you're fighting some tournament champions over here. Like, the fact that he survived that long, I'm already proud of him. There you go. That's my reinforcement right there. These guys. Did he turn off the tongue? I mean, if he did that, I mean, it's a simple one-way ticket out. Like, I'm not gonna stay there and just stay there to get yanked. Like, is he that salty about the last time that he got shitted on, or? I don't understand. Like, they have the team to win pretty much, like, any 2v2, like, unless I get, like, Marco or Ami as a teammate. Like, if I don't get, like, either of those teammates, they still have the advantage. Probably fakes. Yeah, it could be. But I don't think so from the gameplay. I mean, I assume he probably turned off the tongue and reopened. Yeah, there you go. He reopened it. I would have been shocked if he just turned it off without reopening it, because, you know, with the players they have, it's like, doesn't matter who I get for a teammate. Both of them will win their 1v1. Against me, it's going to take them more effort, but like any teammate that faces them, you're likely going to kill them. I think Luber changed his name, though. Like, I remember a little while ago, I thought we were fighting, like, a fake one, and then turns out, like, his name was changed, and I think that's exactly, like, the name that we see there. Yeah, I think that's the real one, guys. Good shot. Whoops. He sit properly. There you go. Where's teammate? There he is. I think our best way to win would be for me to take Luber and the other guy to take duels. I'm not really sure what they're doing though. Given that it's Luber, actually, I know what they're doing. They're running the physic off the other guy. There you go. My teammate died? No, he's not dead. Come on, teammate. Now is not the time to shoot great bows. I need to chase him down. Good shot. Insane lock on, dude. Get saved by a fluke there. He's just waiting to resummon. Good punish. Played network. Play, dude. No shield abuse, can't be Luber. It's him, dude. I'm positive because I know I've seen him play with that name, and I had the same reaction as everyone. Like I thought it was a fake. Yo, genius! Holy shit, dude! Yo, genius! Thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. Guys, Luber is not that unkillable machine that, you know... Like, you guys are so killable, like... You know, like, in an invasion like that, like, anyone can get killed. Like, that doesn't mean he's bad. Like, invasions are invasions. Who is this Luber? Luber is a very, actually, is the most dominant tournament PlayStation player. So, like, if you count PlayStation tournaments, usually if Luber is in a tourney, he's the favorite to win it. So, I know for a fact he's very good at this game, but, you know, like, a lot of people... They all think that for some reason, like, Luber is, like, way better than me, and that's just not the case. Like, even though I'd say he would probably still be the favorite to win a tourney, like, you know, people seem to forget that I was the best Dark Souls 3 player. Like, they think I'm not a top player in this game just because I don't play much. That's just not true. Like, I can take on pretty much anyone still. It's just that I would still favor him, you know, on a... in a best of 9 or that sort of setting, but he's not, like, impossible to kill. I'm sorry that your hero got killed, dude. He's still in denial and shit. That's so funny. Bro, it's no big deal. Like, it doesn't mean anything either. Like, just get over it. This 7-page rule set and invasions are a different game, let's be real. Oh yeah, that's true too, but to be fair, unlike like ladder players, I genuinely think Luber doesn't like suffer from like a no rule set, because like he's used to playing with like anything. Like a lot of ladder player would look completely out of place. Like with no rule set. Luber is not one of those. Like, he's very good with, like, a lot of broken stuff as well. Like, that wouldn't, like, hurt him too much, really. Luber is the most glazed player on PSN. Dude, Luber, first of all, is super chill and pretty much the best player on PlayStation, so... I think, like, the recognition is warranted. With that being said, you know, the gap between some of these top players and me, for instance, is not what all these scrubs think it is. Like, these are, like, you know, if we fight with mirror matches, it's gonna be very close matches, unless either one of us is playing a weapon that we have no idea how to play. You know, something we just never play with. Like, for instance, if I mirror match Luber with Shield Dagger, we'd probably, like, get convincing wins. And then, I don't know, like, yeah, take a weapon that Luber doesn't play as often, and would be the other way around. I don't know which weapon he's not used to, but... Oh shit! We get some... I'm sorry. There you go. Alright. Sorry, whoops. I'm just checking the lat. Still high lat. Yeah. It's high lat, actually. Gonna be a, not a tough fight, but an unfortunate fight. Priority there. Shouldn't do that. It's fairly even, but I'm gonna be honest here. That's just stupid. Good play by him. Activate that, otherwise I would have skipped him. Like, I'm gonna be real, guys, like, even though the HP is, like, even, he panic rolls everything, and he gets away with it purely off of lat. Like that, you know? That's, like... makes the fight pretty pointless. That's actually fair game, because I got hit that way earlier. You tried Deep of Night? No, I've not played Nightreign. Also, Genius, thank you so much for the bits again, man. Holy shit, like... Bro, how much is that? Like, that's crazy. Like, fuck, like, what the hell? That's a crazy amount. I just realized. Elden Ring Tarnished is taking more seriously than it deserves? Bro. I can't agree more. And even though I took Dark Souls Eternity seriously, like... My argument is that the tourneys on this game are even smaller than Dark Souls 3 Like. There's no competition, no one plays this. Oh, come on, that was a good play. Oh, come on, that was a good play too. Opening moment. The blue coming to me? No. I thought I could attack there, I don't know why. Oh. Is that gonna be retaliation for all the blues that he got? I'm waiting for him to get hit in the back. Oh. He got distracted there. That's not my fault. Insane double roll. Like right now I'm losing the fight purely because the fucking red is distracting me. But, to be fair, that's exactly what I was waiting for. For the amount of time this guy had blues come in the fight and attack me from behind, that's only fair game. If it's the same latent guy, I don't know if I want to. Okay. I don't have time for a punish there. That's just... So far, it's pretty bad. Oh, come on, bro. It's kind of fluky so far. Okay, do that. Oh, you don't get a redo. Still in this. Man, this guy's net sucks. Holy shit. But that's my fault. I played bad. Even if this guy's net is bad, I shouldn't lose to this guy. That's my fault there. Yeah, I can blame the lat all I want. Like, I shouldn't lose to this guy. Like, he's not very good, but I just played badly. Just got longer arms? So true, dude. But yeah, I feel bad losing to that, because, like, honestly, I shouldn't be losing to that, even with the lat and, you know, him getting away spamming panic rolls. I guess I got thrown off by the phantom range. The visual should represent the lat. That's actually such an interesting idea. Oh, come on. That's kind of weird. I spawn? Yeah. To be fair, like, we got unlucky because we hit him twice with the pot, and he did not fall either time, so... It's hard to blame yourself for that. Like, it's just, like, you really got lucky. Wonder if they're ganking there? I mean, if they're ganking there, they're gonna die, like, to half the invaders that are gonna come in there. Like, they're gonna get thrown off the wall. Like, he just got lucky that he didn't there. Let's get this over with. What a fucking game. That's Wi-Fi if I've ever seen it. Jesus Christ. Oops, I was muted. Oh, hit there. Nice. Okay. Can I use that? I can. Good to know. the combat in Elder Scrolls games is just too dated. Yeah, I agree on Gon. It's like the reason why I was having so much fun with Fallout 4 is that unlike Skyrim, a lot of mechanics in the game like don't feel as dated. And quite frankly, like just shooting games in general have not really changed all that much. Like at the core throughout the years. It's still like, you know, point and shoot. Whereas like the combat for these fantasy games changes drastically over time and from one franchise to the next. So like Fallout 4 felt very good to play. Just use two-handed pike. I tried it at some point, baby turtle. The only thing good about it is the running, not the running, sorry, the jumping R1. Other than that, like, that shit has nothing. Like, it feels like you have no way to roll catch with this. You just have a lot of range with the jump, that's it. Yo, Passing, thank you so much for the membership gifts, dude. Thank you so much, man. That's why you struggle enjoying New Vegas. The combat is so horrible. Actually, you just gave a great counter argument to what I said. 'Cause I said shooting games have not like aged all that much, but that's true that Fallout 3 and New Vegas are definitely like the shooting there is pretty awful, that's for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Like, unlike Fallout 4, that shit is pretty dated indeed. You're right. Do you like the new Doom games? I don't really care or play the Doom games. I don't really care about them. These are not games for me, honestly. I have to keep in mind, like, yes, I was into shooters, but I was into tactical shooters, not just fucking any shooting games. I don't think he meant to do that. He probably meant to heal. Problem with the potential Bethesda remakes is they upgrade the graphics with Unreal and then leave the combat and bugs the way they are. Yeah, I hate that. Like, when they make remakes like that, like, they should take, like, some liberty to fix, like, all the fucking issues that, let's say, the modding community is already identified and fixed, right? Like, that makes no sense why they wouldn't, like, do that. It feels like you're buying, like, a remake of, again, something that is not polished. And it's definitely unfortunate. Like, I would definitely like if these remakes took a little more liberty to, like, fix some of the obvious flaws. Although, to give some credit to the Oblivion remake, they did change the combat a little bit. Like, they actually did modernize some of that combat a little. So you have to give credit where credit is due. Unlike, let's say, Demon's Souls remake, where Demon's Souls remake, like, really, like, they should have changed, like, more than that. Like, you know, they did some little quality of life and omnidirectional roll, I think, but that's it. Like, they definitely needed to do more. I understand the whole, like, staying true to the original, but, like, sometimes the flaws are just very, like, glaring, more glaring than when the game came out by today's standard. Gonna be tough here with the mage. That was tight. Glitches are part of the Bethesda game gameplay. I'm sure many are put there on purpose. I don't know what to answer to that. Like, for instance, I remember in an interview that, I don't know if it was Todd Howard or another Bethesda dev, but they said that when they made Skyrim and they had like the giant like hit the player and the player just got launched into the sky, that was a bug, but they intentionally left that in because they thought it was funny. When it comes to like the restoration glitch, you know, like give yourself like infinite stuff, I don't know if it's left there on purpose or not, but I definitely feel like that it's way too game breaking to not fix something like this. Like, I hate that it's in the game, and I know people abuse it, and you know, so a lot of people have fun with it, but one of those things where I think as a dev, like, you have to draw the line with if something breaks your game, you have to patch it. Like, you know, it's like FromSoft. Like, imagine if FromSoft did not fix like bow glitch and chainsaw. Like, if they just left it there on purpose, like for speedrunners to beat their game. Like, even if there was no PvP, that shit would be whack. You know what I mean? So I'd like to think that Bethesda probably didn't know about it, but like you said, you know, they had plenty of opportunities to fix it. Definitely didn't care, that's for sure. Like, I'm probably of the thought that once the modding community, like, fixes something, they're like, well, it's not worth doing it. They've already done it. You know what I mean? Like, if the modding community is like, oh, we have this unofficial patch that already, like, fixes that problem, then Bethesda is like, well, they've already taken care of it. What's the point of using resources to, like, officially fix it? I don't know. That's just what I think. Like, FromSoft knew the anti-AFK farm strat are too broken, so they removed them. Kept the fun AFK farming spot. I don't know. Alright, let's redeem ourselves. He's actually playing pretty well with that cat. That range there. Under normal circumstance, I would not have rolled that. At least I got the punish. Bro, don't run out. I hate when people do that. Run out of the arena like this. Do that. Aside from armor coming in clutch, not to have to deal with Clown Lat. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there, to be fair. That's also how I feel. Like, when the lat is that high, like, fights are basically pointless. And I'm a little sad that I let him kill me once earlier. I don't think, I don't think I should die to this guy. Like, skill-wise, I think I'm a lot better, so I was disappointed. Any reason to use Life Ring in third slot? Well, there was a reason at first. Like, the way my talismans were set up, like, it all made sense at the start, but like, things just changed, like, over time on Gone. Like, it made sense back when I made this inventory layout, like, a year ago. Like, I'm not even sure I remember exactly why. Like, I know, like, I made all talismans in this row that I would normally use, like, for damage purpose on the build. And that, like, I didn't have enough, so sometimes I would use also on this side, and I wanted it to be close. And that I also wanted to have, like, the blue and red. Honestly, I don't remember, like, all the ins and outs. But it's definitely not optimal now, that's for sure. Oh, come on. Oh. Let's jump down to drink. Fire of Darkness coming in clutch here against the aggression. That is always the biggest skill elevator. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you either. Like, I agree. Like, you have players that, like, do so much better than they ever would be if the lat was, like, not as high. Like, latency, like, is just such a deterrent to, like, getting outskilled. It's actually crazy. Like, so many people have such high latency, and that is the only thing that allows them to compete with, like other players, really. It's crazy. And to be fair, you know, it's not their fault. You know, they're just from, like, somewhere far away where no one lives there. Like, all my Australian friends know exactly they know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I remember back in Dark Souls 3, there was an actually, like, really good Australian player. Forgot his name, but he was aware of how busted the latency was, and he never wanted to fight people that were not, like, either, like, Japanese or Australian. And even though the community was small, he always kept it that way. And you gotta give it to him because he didn't have a lot of players to play with. Guys, do you remember the name of that guy? I forgot what his name was. He was also super chill. Ungun, you remember that Australian guy from Dark Souls 3 was pretty good? Volarin, I think? I think that was it. I think that's... Could be misremembering. Something like that. Was it Volarin? Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, Vol was a you know... Like, in Dark Souls 3, like, I have, like, more than enough experience to tell, like, the skill level of a person just by watching them without necessarily having to fight them. The guy was legit. The guy was absolutely legit, but he would never fight anyone from NA or EU because the lat was just, you know, Australia against NA, pointless. And I always respected that. Like, I even offered him fights, like, you know, just to see, like, we don't care, like, a lat is unplayable, but... On the other hand, you have people like Whitnake, who, like, will want to fight anyone and everyone, Even if the fights are completely pointless and garbage, because the latency is completely unplayable. Which, you know, you can't blame Whitney, because he wants to play, like he's not a pussy, like he wants to play everyone. But on the other hand, it's like, if I was him, like, I wouldn't want to have these fights. Like, these are horrible fights. So, you know, just an unfortunate reality of these Souls games. Latency just kills a lot of the fun for sure. Remember those Korean tourney banning D-tier weapons because of shrimp? Yeah, dude, that's so funny. And you know, shrimp was good, but you know, it's not like he was some fucking... It was just like completely abusing them because the competition for him was just like, you know, the people that were in these tourneys were nowhere near like the level of competition that, let's say, like NA and EU tourneys had, especially NA. Oh man, that was funny. You know, it's the same with Taka, right? Like Taka being like probably the most decorated Japanese player. Taka was very good, but let's be honest here, like Taka was nowhere near the level of the top NA players, to be fair. And I'm not just putting me in there. There's a lot of players that were a lot better than him. Pretty much all the top NA players were, I would consider, better than him. You know, from like, you know, you could say like Niviel, B-Dubs, Gabri, Painted, Assassin, you know, like Fury, Grim, like all better. And, you know, it feels like a dig, but it just goes to show like skill level is not always the same everywhere. I free aimed that. Good free aim at the end. I don't know if you guys noticed. Did this guy have the Thorn Gauntlet? I feel like I got aim punched by him rolling. Am I crazy? I feel like I got aim punched, dude. He did? What a sneaky bastard. Oh, come on. Whoa. Playing sloppy right now. They should not panic roll that. That's like an obvious roll catch. I played sloppy there. I could have lost that. Did you see the Australian status spammer that pulled to Justin's tourney 2 weeks ago? No, I did not, but I don't know why. I just have a feeling I know who it is, because fucking Steel and I did some 2v2s. Like, just like, it was a while ago. Like, one night, you know, like, we were in Discord, like, talking about, like, you know, business as usual. And, like, we were both watching, like, I think Cleve's stream. And I think we invaded them, and after that they stopped streaming, but we were still in there. And we were like, you know, might as well, let's try to find some people to do some twos. And so, like, still hit up some people in the Discord. And we had this one guy show up. I think he was from Australia. It's either Australia or China. Latency, like, through the roof. And he was using Ansbach bow with sleep arrows. And because the latency was completely out of this world, he would always get a ghost hit with the Ash. And then he would just keep spamming it at a distance, and he would basically guaranteed sleep you into guarantee punish you. And all his other weapons were all like poison stuff. We do be talking about the same guy. Yeah, I just had a feeling that it was this dude, because like the guy basically had the build designed for that latency. Like we definitely had to adapt a little bit, because you know, you can't just stay at range from this guy and let him like just ghost hit you with sleep Ash of War like over and over. Pretty funny. He can deal 1,500 damage with the right talisman. Yeah, I mean that's basically what he was doing. Like I think he killed us like I think he killed each of us like once before we adapted, but I mean as soon as we pulled out the clean rot fucking the clean rot with rod grease, it was GG though. He ain't getting away from that. Like, you know, Steel and I, it didn't take time for us to pull it out. But yeah, like, that latency was just completely unplayable. Didn't matter what we used, the guy could, you know, spam roll infinitely, never get hit. So the only way to damage him was either him being out of stam, attempting to attack, or, you know, just catching him when he was trying to attack someone else. So it was just, like, the play was just basically, like, still outplaying the other guy, while I just stay on this guy and just keep pressuring him with the clean rot until the rot, like, gives him, like, low enough HP so that he's forced to heal, and then I punish him. Handback is such a badass weapon designed for it to be so cheap to use with latency. It hurts your heart. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't hate the weapon. Like, even if the guy used it on lat, you know, it's like with this kind of lat, like there's a ton of stuff that you could use that just breaks the game entirely. So I don't blame the weapon there. That's for sure. Rakshasa on lat is so fucking annoying. Yeah, I mean, I already hate Rakshasa, but like you said, like Rakshasa, you can still outspace it. You know, if I'm using a TS, like I feel comfortable with Rakshasa for a matchup. What's a little harder though is like main hand Claws of Night off in Rakshasa. That's a problem. Like that setup is, I don't know like how to approach this gimmick safely. Let's just say, like I have plenty of experience with this game, but there are some setups that I just don't know how to approach them. And that's one of them. LGS and Twin Blade on lat is broken. Yeah, Twin Blade in general is so fucking free, dude. Crazy how Twin Blade is so dangerous. In the hands of a good player, like Twin Blade is like one of the worst things to face. You know, that you can like try to counter it. It's definitely doable, but man, is it scary like to fight like a good player with a Twin Blade that knows what they're doing with the poise chip. Oof. Very dangerous. You can't. You get pelted by 300 damage projectile into nuke DPS and Greatheimer Hype Armor. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I feel like I've lost the conversation. Unless you're talking about Twin Blade that gets countered by Hype Armor. Yeah, you're right. Like the play around Twin Blade definitely, yeah. Claws Rack. Okay, Claws Rack. Okay, let me reread that then. You can't... okay, so you can't... You get... Okay, so I don't know how to play around it, and then you're basically saying you can't because you get pelted by 300 damage from the claws. Yeah. That's basically how I feel. Because it feels like one of those setups where you don't have to be good to use that thing, like, successfully. Just because it's very gimmicky, like, the claws is stupid fast, so you can't, like, roll into it. The Hype Armor, like, it basically wins over all other Hype Armor, or nearly. And then you have these infinite range attack with that force you to roll with perfect tracking with the Claws of Night as well. Because, like, you can't strafe those. And so you get infinite chip. Like, very, very difficult to avoid fast attacks at close range that can be mixed up with the rock, too. And then if you try to bulldoze your way through there, well, you're gonna eat the Rakshasa into the Claws of Night combo. It's just very hard to work around it. Like, the only success I've had against that is, you know, playing a standard game where you just try to bullshit your way with outspacing with TS, BHS, or... I've had some success with two-handed Great Spear, but I'm not really sure, honestly, if that's just, you know, the opponent not knowing the matchup as much, or if it's legitimately, like, decent against it. Claws of Night straight up doesn't have a bad matchup. That's definitely how it feels like. It definitely feels like when I see Claws of Night, I don't have, like, anything that I go to and I'm like, yeah, like, this is gonna counter it. What can Clean Rod BHS even do against that? You just get nuked? That's a good point, but what you do is with BHS, you do 2 hits and then get out. Like, you need to win neutral, first of all. You need to get the first hit. And then 2 hits, BHS out. Like, cancel BHS out. That's pretty much it. But, like you said, it's not like BHS is a winning matchup there. Like I wouldn't give, like, Claws of Night, like an advantage, but I wouldn't give the advantage to TS either. Like, I'm not really sure what's the actual counter to one another there. Just feels fairly even from my experience. Just grafted into Sever, yeah. Another one that I'm not actually very experienced with, sorry, not with, but against is, I mean, that one might not surprise you, but Back and Blade with Blind Spot, dude. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, as much as you can say, like, use Hyper Armor against, like, Swift Slash and Back and Blade, man, an Hyper Armor weapon doesn't work against Blind Spot. Blind Spot just fucking warps through it and counters it. Feels very hard to play, that. If it's just BHB alone, you can spam Flaming Strike. If there's a rack, it's too much. Yeah, I guess I guess my go-to is Storm Stomp in these cases. Like, if I have to face Back and Blade Blind Spot, I usually resort to Storm Stomp. But or Flame Strike. Storm Stomp being a little more reliable because, you know, has the Hyper Armor. Oh shit, Frost versus Poison. I take that. I even waited, dude. Oh my god, this game. Did we flawless him? Yeah, we did. The only damage he got was from rolling. You know what? I don't think I had time to roll that. Oops. That was max range. Is he out of stam? Oh, come on. He was in position to backstab me. Didn't have a choice but to roll there. The elevation is very treacherous. Scary because he rolls like behind me. Oof! Nasty counter hit, bro. He just ate it. The max damage counter hit too. You know, like we had the 2 tallies, the bundle, the heavy infusion, 755 on the counter hit. The only thing we didn't have is fucking spear tally. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it there. Have to get off. We went over 3 hours, but I think we had some good invasions in there. I think we had also like I think all the deaths that we have today, I think they were all my fault and could have been avoided. Like there was the stupid jump at the beginning where I just jumped off because like the elevation change like prevented me from jumping. It was just so whack. Anyway, guys, thanks everyone for coming by again. Really appreciate it. Let's see who's on right now. Anyone streaming the Elden Ring? I feel like every time I play Elden Ring now, I end the stream and no one's playing Elden Ring anymore. Like the only person that's there is like Steel from time to time. There he is. Let's raid Steel. Alright guys, take it easy everyone. Have a good rest of the night, the day. Catch you guys up next time. Alright, take care guys.